Good morning, Salt Lake City. Look at that horizon. The sun is just starting to peek up over the mountain ranges. The dusty, deserty mountain ranges. Pretty majestic, if I do say so myself. And I got that time lapse by putting a chair on top of a table. That way you wouldn't see those metal poles and you would only see the sunrise. Look at that fine layer of mist that is now formulating on the ground over there. Welcome everyone, Adam the Woo here. Got the rental car. Now it's time to do some exploring. It's my second channel, daily vlog channel. It's the Daily Woo. Fall is in the air. The leaves are changing, the air is crisp, and there is a dead blotch of a bug on my windshield. This convenience store has a Krispy Kreme. Okay, they fooled me. They did not have Krispy Kreme coffee in there, but they did have donuts. I got a water, and I got these. And look at the name of them. Mystery Man. These will work. And for future reference, this coffee is not as good as Krispy Kreme's coffee, but those donuts, delicious. So good. Did you ever see the movie The Sandlot? Such a great film. It's like a childhood buddy comedy with baseball intertwined. You've never seen it? You're killing me, Smalls! We're gonna start off with where the kids lived, right at the end of this road. At the cul-de-sac. Sometimes people in neighborhoods are kind of weird when you're wandering around filming their houses. It'd probably be even weirder if I was holding a sack of culties. There's Benny's house. The Jet Rodriguez. That's where he lived. He went on to play with the Dodgers, which is really awesome at the end of the movie. And Scotty's house is right here on the corner. It looks a little bit different, but that's where he first moved into the neighborhood at the beginning of the film. That is so cool. And of course in the backyard is where he was playing catch with his stepdad. And if you turn this way, you can see a couple shots from the movie where the kids are running home. And I always find it interesting to match things up, like this manhole right here that you can see in the shot when they're returning from the baseball field back to their houses. I wonder if the people that live inside that home have any clue of the history of where they live. You can also see the fire hydrant is in the exact same spot. The light pole to the left of it is a little bit different. In the movie there was a light pole behind the fire hydrant, but the garage behind the fire hydrant is still there. 3 of the kids all lived in this cul-de-sac, including Ham, who lived here. Remember the scene where he runs out? They were having a 4th of July picnic all in this little area here. He grabs a couple hot dogs and they run off that way. There's Benny's house, Small's house, and Ham's house. Moving along. We got about 20 miles to go to the next spot. Whoa, there's a dinosaur on the side of the road right there. They aren't extinct. Some pretty cool murals here on the side of this wall. And the place we're looking for is right here. Vincent Drug. I'm really glad this building still exists. It's closed, but it looks pretty much the same as it did in the movie. This is where they always bought their baseballs, right in there. It was a real store. It's no longer in business. You can see those trees have grown considerably since the movie was made. But the sign looks identical, as well as that metal awning. Exactly the same. And also that sidewalk, that's where Squints saw Wendy Peppercorn. It was kind of a low shot where him and Yaya came out of. The camera angle would have been somewhere right around there when they came walking out of those glass doors. The sidewalk's been redone and the awnings all the way down have been removed. But that's the spot. Strutting their stuff straight towards us. If you ever visit this location in person, don't just take pictures of the front and leave. Keep in mind that around the back of the building, was another pivotal scene.
And even though the doors are boarded up, there is a relic of movie history right up here in the form of this sign. In fact, if you look at it from this angle, this exact shot that I'm staring at present day is also in the film. That electrical box, sign, awning. And this is kind of blowing my mind right now. Right against that wall is where they were all sitting around talking about Babe Ruth, the great Bambino, the Sultan of SWAT, the Colossus of Clout. The little apartment complex behind looks a little bit different, but the brick wall on the left still looks the same.
I'm the great Bambino.
What?
I'm the great Bambino.
What? Next stop, 49 miles straight ahead. Antelope Drive. If I ever saw one of those animals driving a vehicle, it would be amazing. Whoa, look at that plane. Holy cow, it took me by surprise coming over the road. I was trying to show those hang gliders up top. That plane came out of nowhere. I wonder if those two hang gliders soiled their pants when they saw that airliner coming towards them. I always love those little squiggly dancing guys. This is a very adventurous gas station. There are paintings of forests all along the wall. And look over here. There's a snowboarder on the ceiling. And this girl, she's in a kayak. Check that car out. Adorned with decor. I think I see it over there. Yep. That's it. This is the pool where Squints kissed Wendy. And her lifeguard stand was basically right in the center of the screen. Right about there. Right in front of that pole. Once the boys are thrown out of the pool, they are escorted out of this door, and it pretty much looks the same as it did, except for this concrete pathway that has been added. But this rock wall, still here, and they started walking directly towards us. And Squints gets one last look by standing at the fence at Wendy Peppercorn. This was the pole he walked up to. Of course, he was much shorter than I am because he was a child, but he basically was sitting just like this, staring at her. Her lifeguard stand would have been somewhere between the window on the left and that door on the right. Right about there. And then they run off that way. I think it's so cool that that big tree is still in the shot as well. That's the same fence. There is one shot of the pool that they had from a crane shot that was basically right about where that light pole is, about that height. I do not have a crane, but I do have the Majestic. So I'm going to attempt to fly it over the pool, get the same angle from the movie. Basically what they had as a crane, I'm getting the same elevation with the DJI Phantom 4. And there you have it. The pool. The famous, epic pool from the Sandlot.
About 37 miles to go to the next destination. Originally, I wasn't going to rent a car here in Salt Lake City area. I was going to just take Ubers. And then I started to do the math on how far it was from spot to spot to spot. So first thing this morning, went and got the rental car. It was definitely a good decision. There's a lot of driving today.
Play naked. Huh? I think the next destination lies straight ahead. At one point, the rich kids showed up and challenged the boys from the Sandlot to a baseball game. And they played that game on this field. There's a shot from this angle of Benny running the bases. Pretty much looks the same, except the shingles on the far left dugout roof are green now. But even check out that air conditioner unit right there on the side of the snack bar and the announcer stand. And it looks like the bleachers have been changed as well as the back fencing. But everything else looks the same by using my Columbo-like research skills. This is where that hole was, right there above Ham's head. And he would have stood right there, talking trash to the batters. Gosh, I love that scene.
Is that your sister out there? You think she'd go out with me?
We are now headed to the final spot. The holy grail of the film itself.
Are you guys as excited about this as I am? We're actually going there, to the spot. We have a dramatic sun flare for a little bit of effect.
We're now in a residential area, and the last location is very difficult to find because it is behind all these houses, and there really is no way of entering it without trespassing on someone's property, which I do not really want to do today. I stopped for a minute and talked to a gentleman who owned one of the houses back here, and he was saying that the guy who owns the property that I want to see is not real happy about people visiting it, and he has put up signs saying these are the penalties if you come on my property. But it's a good thing that another option exists.
The Majestic.
So here is my solution to this conundrum. I'll take the drone up in the air, go between the houses that there is no entry to be gained to, and there it is. Say hello to the filming locations where all 9 of the boys gathered, played baseball, hung out as friends. The Sandlot. This is also the exact area in this general vicinity, not only where the baseball field was, but where the crazy old man who did not like people on their property, kind of like the guy who owns the property now. But this is it, the field. Man, this is awesome. In fact, you could even say majestic.
I just got to thinking, what if it really was James Earl Jones that now owns the property? Give me a call. We'll do lunch. Vlog over.
The fog is rolling in. The sun is rising. Salt Lake City. Looking very creepy this morning. According to the weather, it's gonna rain all day from morning till night.
Now I could take heed of this forecast and sit around in my hotel room all day, but I'm not gonna do that because where there is coffee and a purpose, there is adventure. Welcome everyone, Adam the Woo here. That's good. It's my second channel, daily vlog channel. It's the Daily Woo.
We got a heck of a lot of ground to cover today. Before this public transportation train system was put in, the opening shot of one of my favorite comedies was filmed right here.
22 years ago, Jim Carrey drove his limousine right down this road in the 1994 classic, Dumb and Dumber.
They placed a sign saying Hope Street right there. The camera panned down, and the beautiful girl was standing right here on this corner, and he pulled up, similar to how that car is approaching us now.
She was standing in front of a brick building that has been demolished, and they have replaced it with this. But there is one way to tell that this is the exact spot.
Directly across the street where the limo pulled up, this building is the same, this electrical box is the same. That's the shot right there. Lloyd Christmas.
That's a lovely accent. New Jersey?
And right up here we have the introduction of our second character. Oh, Harry, old buddy, old pal. Yep, that's totally it. This is where he drops the dogs off.
I crimped them and I groomed them myself.
Right there is where he's talking to her. That's the shot, that's the angle. That's awesome.
Those people back there did not like that I was filming.
I should probably throw a little disclaimer in right here.
Some of these locations will be filmed out of sequence because it was filmed all around Utah, and only about half to 3/4 of the movie was filmed in this state. And that's what we're concentrating on in this vlog.
But it's just simply way too good of a subject matter to pass this one up.
Honestly, my mind is completely blown that I am visiting the Dumb and Dumber spots.
I want you to look across the street because something amazing is about to be bestowed upon your eyes. Harry and Lloyd's apartment.
Is this really happening right now? That's where the shaggin' wagon was parked.
It looks identical as it did in the film. Even the little overhangs from the apartments, the drainage coming from the roof, that little weird planter in the middle. If you watch the movie closely, when they are escaping around this corner, when they come running around, there is a guy urinating on the wall. I gotta get the Billy and Forsey shot right here. Pretty bird, pretty bird. Polly want a cracker? I seriously can't believe this is happening right now. And right down here on the right is where he got robbed by a sweet little old lady on a motorized cart, and he didn't even see it coming. There's really no way of matching this shot up because the building has been completely redone. But Jim Carrey would have been walking right there with his paddle ball, and he stopped to get that adult newspaper with his red right hand. Wow, look at that. Union Pacific Railroad. That's cool. And just across the street from that is the Devereaux Mansion, home of the exteriors from the Owl events. It's hard to get the image of the two of them in their colorful tuxedos walking right into that door. Not much has changed over the years. And really the only set dressing they put on this was a sign right there saying Aspen. The only interiors that were inside there is right when they walk in the foyer and Jeff Daniels smashes the back of Jim Carrey's calf with his cane. Right inside there next to that stairwell. The camera would have been facing towards us, and all the rest of the interiors were across the street. Holy cow, this is it. This is it. I can't believe the doors were open to this place. But the bar that Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels stood at was basically right where those two guys are walking past. And then right here, they put a red drape over that door. This is incredible. This is where they hung out, where the drinks were. What are you gonna do? I'm gonna hang by the bar, put out the vibe. Boy, this party really died. Oh shoot, I almost didn't see that truck there. It must have been a complete nightmare to record audio in that room because the echo was insane. They must have had huge boom mics or maybe voiced it over in the studio. Crazy echo in that place. About 20 or so miles to the next destination. Look at that sky. This is definitely some beautiful countryside, especially with the leaves changing, and those clouds festooning themselves on the mountains. I'm not 100% sure if this is a sidewalk or a driveway. I'm gonna chance it and just go through here. Okay, we're doing it. Ah, yes. This spot looks awfully familiar. This is the spot from the dream sequence where he walks up and knocks on the door and she opens it and all the doves flutter behind her out into the open air. A few things have changed. They have added a fireplace, but the rock work and the door and the roof all pretty much look similar. And that's where it fades into his dream. Even the planters are still the same. The tile on the ground is now concrete. Check that out. He was knocking on that exact door. Yeah, that's cool. Even have the fire going just like in the movie. So they hung a drape right here, like they hung a drape over there, but that's it. That was awesome. I can't believe they let me up there to look at that. Huge thanks to the ladies who were in the office upstairs that let me get a shot of that fireplace where Jim Carrey was like telling the jokes. Everyone was laughing. He threw the peanuts up in the air and he was like munching on them. So funny. They kindly asked for me not to go on this property, but if you look all the way down at the end of this pathway, at this private residence, that's where he pulls the limo up and first meets Mary. Still looks the same. This is as close as we can get, but the fact that they let me up on that upstairs to get that fireplace shot, I really can't complain. 36 miles to the next spot. Look at the water flooding into the pathway. And is that a goose over there? Are you a goose? No, but that's a real nice ski mask. sometimes it gets so snowy they have these gates that close. Right there is Nicholas Andre's house. Up here at the top of this mountain. He was the villain bad guy in the movie. And that's his place right there. Tucked away up here. That was definitely a long way to get one shot. 20 miles to the next location. Looks like I'm heading right into the darkness. I think I am literally the same elevation as the clouds. There's the hotel. Still looks the same. What happened, Harry? Some little filly break your heart? No, it was a girl. This was the sign itself. The second time is the best. And that dry cleaner sign used to be a florist. The phone booth was right here. That's where Mental punched the guy who was kind of giving him lip. And the shaggin' wagon would have been parked right there in that spot. There are no hot tubs in these rooms. At least not ones that are shaped like a heart. 48 miles to the next location. This is quite the undertaking to accomplish in one day. All these miles, filming, editing, getting the vlog uploaded, all in a day's time. I love a good challenge. Little driving whistling. Never heard anyone. At the Salt Lake City International Airport now. This is where Lloyd dropped Mary off. Looks a little bit different because they have built this structure, but you can see the crossover walkway in the movie. And that's where he had his tearful departure. I hate goodbyes. How about a hug? And this is the spot where he wrecked the limo. Right there. Goodbye, my love. I was a little bit rushed on those airport shots because I went inside before I got the exterior shots. Tried finding the escalator where he said, "Move it or lose it, sister." And I was kind of like in there too long. And the employees and the security were looking at me weird. So the outdoor shots, I got really hurriedly. So if they don't line up perfectly, that's why. 2 spots remaining. Total distance from here to there, about 35 miles. Getting a little traffic. Sunlight is burning away. Oh man. The building is still here. In case you don't remember what this is, why don't you eat up and I'll tell you. This was Dante's Inferno. Probably one of the funniest scenes in the film. Well, it's hard to pick the funniest scenes, but nothing beats Jim Carrey when he smashes the ketchup and mustard on the table. Now, I don't know for certain, but I am pretty sure that the scene was filmed inside this actual building. And if it was filmed inside here, the counter they would have been eating at would be right there. And remember the blinds that Jim Carrey tangles his feet up in? They would have been right here hanging on the other side of the door. And right on the ground, right inside there, is where they fed the guy the rat poison. Pills are good. Check, please. And just to clarify, the exteriors 100% definitely were filmed at this spot. When I mentioned the interiors, sometimes when they film a movie, they film it on a soundstage, in case you were confused about that, but I think they filmed inside there. I really do. That's a cool mural. Big cowboy there on the side of the wall. The last spot has been a subject of debate for years about where the actual location is. There are 3 different places in question, and I think where I'm heading is the accurate one. Cross your fingers. Could it be? Could it be right here? I think this is it. The elusive Big Gulp scene. This used to be a 7-Eleven. Even the address is the same, 3087. That's it. Jim Carrey walks out of there with some supplies. The thing that really gives it away though is this shot over the hood of the shaggin' wagon. Look on the far left. Kissel Sales and Service. That building doesn't lie. This is the spot. Big Gulps, huh? Well, see you later.